M Studios brought to you by Old Mutual.
Hello everybody, and a warm welcome to Nasty C's Zulu Man with Some Power podcast series brought to you by M Studios by Old Mutual. Right now, I am coming at you guys from M Studios in Newtown, which is an incredible world-class facility that was put together by the good people at Old Mutual. As you can see, they've got a dope stage behind me with incredible lighting and a full PA system. There's a recording studio, a boardroom, and so many other facilities that you guys can use if you want to take your career to the next level. Since the very beginning of his career, Nasty C has been a big thinker. He's always tried to do things differently, and that's probably why he's advanced to the international level where he is today. So to celebrate the release of his third album, Zulu Man with Some Power, he has called upon some industry professionals to break down what really happens behind the scenes in the music industry. So whether you're an artist, whether you're a content creator, whether you're an aspiring music manager, there's so much cool information in this series that you definitely want to check out. This week's episode is definitely one for the culture, as Nasty C is one-on-one with South African hip-hop legend Slikour, as they discuss the evolution of South African hip-hop and exactly the role that Nasty C played in that evolution. They talk about his personal music evolution from Bad Hair to Strings and Bling, and obviously Zulu Man with Some Power. They also talk about his creative process, how he stays on top of his game, and so much more. This is a really incredible episode, guys. The time is now. Let's go.
M Studios brought to you by Old Mutual.
You're welcome to the Zulu Man podcast. I am Slikour and I'm speaking to the Zulu Man with Power. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, G.
On the album, I don't know where to start because you're already planning the next Zulu something with Power.
Yeah.
It started off with King. I mean, for me, it's just been interesting and just watching your journey, like almost like taking the crown and saying King. I was just interested on opening the album with that, why was it important for you just to go, yo, King, and what's the reference of that King? And a lot of my questions are going to be based on that because I want to talk about your evolution. You know what I mean?
So with King, I really just wanted an intro that was like very theatrical, so to say. Something that sounded like not just a normal song that you just play. It sounds like an introduction to something. It sounds like, okay, we're going somewhere here. You don't know where we're going, but we're going somewhere. I wanted something like that just to set the tone off perfectly, like for the album, because I felt like it was something very different. And if people came to it with like preconceptions, like, oh, he's going to drop bars and it's going to be bangers on bangers or whatever, they were going to be disappointed. So I had to make sure first song out the gate, you need to know I'm doing something different with this album. It's not the same shit that you've heard from me do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's really just that. It's really just me saying, yo, you're entering my world now where I'm the king of this place right here. Like I'm about to show you my capabilities. I'm about to show you some shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And when you look at like, from all your albums coming in, I mean, I think like Bad Hair Extensions, Strings and Blings, which I think you were really like getting into your zone also. What have you seen or done that that reaffirms the fact that, you know what, I wouldn't call it king like on Bad Hair when I open it up, but I've seen so much now that I do feel that to a certain extent I'm catapulted to that king space,
I guess it would have to be all the experiences and lessons learned in between the two times. I guess like just me growing as an artist and me realizing that the art is the most important thing. No matter how much you can get distracted and think that, oh no, the engine behind this whole thing is the marketing. Oh no, the engine is this, or it's this and that. It's the look, it's the image, this and that. I think I got to a point where I was so interested in everything else for like a long time, and then I got to a point where I was like, nah, actually, like these other things should be coming naturally. And I just stopped worrying about them and I started focusing more on the music, and I started feeling like a king, like in my own space. I think that was it. Like I reached a point where I was very comfortable with my sound and it being different, and it's like it's gonna be like a hit or miss. Like if you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. And I'm just like 1,000% okay with that.
Yeah, and I think what a lot of people actually underestimate or take for granted, and I think it's because also you're young. A lot of people ignore the resilience that you've had to have to get here. You've been in like deals or relationships that other older people couldn't even save themselves from. You know what I mean? And I guess, there's also a sense of like king besides me just saying I'm emceeing or I'm getting into my zone and my music. There's also that these are the scars that I have behind my back also, and all I've done is just try harder. You never ran back home. You know what I mean? Is how much of that resilience also literally like comes back to the king aspect of it.
Almost like it's like 90% of what makes a king anyways. The fact that you get up every single time. That's how you earn people's respect. That's how you end up respecting yourself. You end up going, I know, actually, like I've been through it, but he goes. Do you know what I mean? Like you get to that point where it's like, I don't care what you throw at me anymore. It's like, it's fine, dog. Like I'll take it. It's like that. You know what I mean? And I think that's what makes a king.
And I think that a lot of people want to forget what you've been through, and they want to place you like, you lucky. They want to place you like, you know, you.
It's because of this person and this backing.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's important also for you to actually, without, obviously you're a gentleman and you're not going to talk bad on the people you worked with. But I think that it's also important for people to know that you've gone through the most and you never had a home in Joburg to go cry back home to. Yeah. You know what I mean? You actually had to stay here in the same city, that actually probably showed you the flame.
Yeah.
It's the bad deals, the bad relationships, or just this world of access, which you can't even really kind of go, this is what it's accountable. This is why this is accountable for it. You know what I mean? So I do feel that like a lot of people are deliberately forgetting that, especially when you drop a song like Easy.
Yeah. but yeah. I don't know why people do that, you know? I think it makes them feel a little better for their own shortcomings, because they say, oh no, the only reason why me and him are not on the same level is because he has this guy and that guy and that guy behind him. And it's not like that. Before I got to these guys, I had to go through a lot of like niggas before I got to people that actually understand what I'm trying to do and are like down for the cause and are like loyal, you know? Because I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm the guy that pulls all the strings and makes all this shit come together. I'm not. I have a team, but the team is functional. For a long time, I've had like a broken family type team. You know what I mean? And I had to power through all of that. I had to be real with myself and cut people off, people that I started with. You know what I mean? People that I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them. But because I had to just like be honest, like I'm just like, is this person good for you? Really? Like, do they really understand you? Are they really going there to speak on your behalf, or by la agenda and try to like finesse you? You know what I mean? Like I went through all of that type of stuff. People just like, they want to point out bad stuff. People want to see stains. Like people can't stand it. Like looking at somebody that came in, especially older people. Like, you know, no offense to anybody specifically, but like older people, it doesn't make sense to them how you just came in and had it easy, because it's like, it's not fair type thing. So they'll come up with everything they can, like to try and, that's a stain right there, that's a stain right there, nah, you're not perfect, da-da-da-da-da. It just is how the game goes though.
And I think also, we also take for granted how young you are, you know, and right, you here right now, but you had to make some of these decisions at what age? 18, 19, 20. That's incredible, because, you know, when you're 20 years old, you literally like want to believe that everyone is for you.
Yeah.
It's hard to actually be assertive. I mean, old people can't also choose their paths. I always say you also got to respect people's moves. I don't care how whack they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If people literally like a calculation of this move literally counts to this. I got to minus this. I got to plus this. That is a big part of the game.
Exactly.
You know?
Especially like, if that person is so young that they're still trying to figure out who they are as a person.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? There's still that.
Yeah.
And then there's pressures of just like taking care of family back at home when you left. It's like...
Who don't know what you're going through in the meantime?
They don't. They seeing the Instagram posts and everything. They thinking, you're rich. Send us some money. Get us out of here. Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
I think that's why I can openly say, because I've also watched the journey. I mean, the opening of King, the description of Zulu man with power, you know, there's a big debate on there's not enough Zulu, but like I was saying in a conversation, I was saying, I don't care how much English you speak, if your surname is, and you're from? No, not even, like, bro, so why do you want to fight that this is Zulu? You know
Again, I mean? It's just trying to find a stain in something that looks good. It's just, people are like that, though. It's like, that's just the way we are. And that's, and I'm not gonna lie to you right now. This is like a thing that we have as just South Africans. You travel around the world, you find people are not really like that. Lana, what we like to do is, like, we act as if like we're happy for people, but we're not really. You know what I mean? People say, I just looked the other way. You thought I was going to ask for a picture. Like, why do you need to, like, why are you like that? Like, do you know what I mean? That's just like the energy that people have. And it's like very common, and it's like a normal thing. It's like, it's normal to just, as soon as something great comes up, they just have to point out the bad stuff about it and be like, no,
But you see, we want to be specific in that aspect. I want to literally like take that and go, this is where the power comes from. You know what I mean? I literally saw when I was powerless at 18 or 19, I literally saw that like these things were not working for me at 18 and 19, and I had to do plus, minus, plus. You know what I mean? I literally knew how to speak with like people globally and also build those relationships. This is where the power comes from. You know what I mean? Even if you had to remove the Zulu, it's still power.
Still there.
So where do we want to put this power? We got to put this power to where it comes from, right?
Exactly. I couldn't have said it any better. I couldn't have said it any better.
And then another thing I love is this, like you a student of hip hop, and I've been, and I know you say about, you talk about this, and I always say it's a sign of the times that shows people's age also, and people's choice of amnesia. I say you're like a student of the game because I never ever knew who Rosa Parks was. And then like, you know, then Outkast did even when Outkast was saying, who did the bus? I still never knew what was
they were talking about?
What is it? I'm trying to understand that. I never understood because like the song was just about a party. It was about, you know, it was all these things. And I remember they also had backlash when they dropped that song, when people started coming out and they were like, yeah, you know, disrespecting the history. You know what I
see where you go with this.
you know what I mean?
I see, yes.
And so when I was young and I was reading that, I was like, yo, these old people must be crazy. You know what I mean? And it feels like now when I hear Steve Biko, although Steve Biko is obviously closer to us, you know, and then I go, but this is the game though.
That's just how it goes though.
When you wrote that, and were you expecting, I mean, you got Deep Throat, you got Steve Biko, 2 words down, Deep Throat, you know? I mean, Steve Biko is in the middle of a deep throat, bro.
Like, did I think about like the attention or the
backlash that could possibly cause?
I'll be honest with you. First of all, I haven't experienced this backlash. Nowhere, right?
Yeah.
But no, I didn't think about it. I didn't think that it would be an issue. Like when my team started pointing it out, they were like, oh, one of them was scared. They're like, don't you think we should rename the song? I'm like, why? Like, why do you want to rename it? Think about all the people that are going to hear that song for the first time and say, yo, that song's dope, and pull out their Shazam, and then they go, Steve Biko. I'm like, who's Steve Biko? Now what they're doing is they doing their own digging and their own research, their own extensive little, and they're learning more about him. The song is not in no way just like about his legacy or what he's done, or it's not even just like against it. It's really got nothing to do. It's just wordplay. That's
pro-black.
Yeah,
you know, pro-black. You know,
it's a dope ass line. Yeah, pro-black card. What? Come on, though. It's like
Steve Biko is pro-black.
Yeah.
So once again, it's just the student of the game, you know, where regardless of what is being said, a lot of people don't understand that, like, in streaming numbers, you're probably the biggest artist and you are literally using wordplay. And you, even when you title your song Steve Biko, I don't see anyone in your generation talking about Steve Biko.
Exactly. What's that making them do now? It's making them go do their research. Now they know who Steve Biko is.
And Steve Biko is also one of the most played joints on the album also.
Yeah. Was number 1 in the world at some point. People just choose like to focus on the bad stuff, bro. It's like, that's just something you can never eradicate. You can never fix it. It's just something that you just have to just let be.
I mean, and you know, I know you talked about old people. We're going to get to old people because that's hard. You addressed a couple of things about OGs who are basically like baby uncomfortable.
Not OGs. I respect OGs.
You were mentioning that. And I think on a lighter note, you know, I wanted to find out when you were planning or envisioning Nasty C's growth, what gap did you want to fill, right? As an artist, like now you're at home, you just moved to Joburg. What gap did you want to fill that you felt that I don't think the OGs or the generation that's actually doing it and killing it at this point in time are probably filling this gap? And how far do you think you are within that also?
I don't think it was filling in any gap. My vision as a kid, it was just as pure as me wanting to exist in that space. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to exist in that space. I just wanted people to go, the greatest MCs or artists in South Africa, AKA this guy, Nasty C. You know what I mean? I just wanted to be mentioned with the greats. That's all I wanted. And then started happening is as you come up, and especially because like all eyes were on me, like a lot of people, it was a lot of push and pull going on. Like a lot of people would try to win me over by, I don't know, acting like this is the side. Those guys there don't matter. Come to this side. And I wasn't for that. So I mean, I'm just like, first of all, me, I'm not gang with any one of you guys. Like I came in with my own squad, coming through and see, now I'm just here to exist in this space. We can be cool, yes, but like don't think like I'm just gonna fall under anybody's wing. I have a vision of my own. And a lot of people didn't take that well. And I guess it's just one of those things, because as much as it looks like people in the industry talk, these guys don't talk. Even when they have something against you, they don't say it to your face. Like you'll hear it through somebody else. And we don't respect that. So I never respected that. I mean, if you did that to me, I immediately like cancel you. Don't expect me to dap you up like when I'm in the clubs or some shit like that. You know what I mean? And as a result of that, because you are the type of person to not use words and converse, you rather like read my energy and whatever and then feed into that and then go spreading your own. It's gonna keep getting worse and worse. It's just gonna build up and build up. You know what I mean? And then it's gonna get to a point where it's like, F you, well, F you, well, F you too. All right, then like.
And I mean, look, I want to, just to give context for anyone listening, obviously, like we talking about you're 18, 19-year-old and you are around some of the biggest stars, and there's almost like a bidding kind of like war to have you in each space.
Right.
And at 18, 19, you like going, I want to be amongst the names of the greats, but I got my own vision.
Exactly. It's like, allow me to exist in this space and like, give me my space. Like, we can be cool. Like, we can be cool. I've always shown the utmost respect, dog. Like, I've been the most respectful guy, like, forever, dog. Until it came to a point where I was just like, nah, I'm done. But for the most part, like, I was so respectful. I was just like, yo, like it doesn't have to be like this, dog. It doesn't have to, like, why are we doing this petty industry shit? Like, let's just make music, dog. I have something I can offer. Should you ever want to work, let's go work, dog. Let it be purely about the work and what can actually come out of that situation. Yeah, that whole thing was just like, nah.
I just want to come back to that though. That's king. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's king. That's being decisive, you know, and that's making a call. That's saying, yo, I might not have anything, but I'm still protecting the interest of the people that I'm rolling with, right? That's power once again. You know, power not to be under the pressure, you know?
And to stand for what you believe in, though. And stand firm.
And these are part of the building blocks of what can make an artist like also grow. But we'll get into that, you know? Here's the most important line that I heard you say in this album while I was running. And then I went, you know, overpriced steak. You know, I don't need to drop a rhyme, so I don't need to out rhyme your rhymes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I might not quote them as it is, but you know, I just love that line where you go, I want to use my skin as an excuse because I've seen Oprah and I've seen Hova, and I want nothing with skin to take over Jehovah's place. Man, and like, you know, for me, that captures so much, you know, and it also captures, then you close out, and then you've got a line where you go, you want to take the stereotypes of essay away, you know, and when they see you, you know, I mean, for me, literally, like, that's the heart of Zulu Man with power. You know, those are the most important lines you said in that. You could have just had a quiet album and just said that.
That one line.
I know your boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where is that coming from, you know?
It's coming from these true life events, stuff. Like, everywhere I go, as you can imagine, a lot of people go, really? From South Africa? Play that song again? But how? Do you know what I mean? And then I explain, and then it's like, oh, shit. But they always leave like, okay, let's see what else we can hear from South Africa. And I'm never the guy to go, oh, no, yeah, in South Africa, yeah, I'm running shit. Like, as long as you listen to my that's it. Yeah. I'm not like that, dog. I'm really out there, like, really putting on for the country, dog. I'm over there, like I'm even, like, to some degree, acting like we're like the Avengers type. Like, I'm like, we're teammates. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's how I act when I'm over there, because I understand what's important at that moment. It's just to open that gate. Discuss whoever's the best and whoever's running shit when we're inside. Like, right now, what's important is that we enter. You know what I mean? So when I'm there and these guys or whatever, and and they're in awe and whatever, and they're like, so how come you talk like this? How come you sound like this? How come this and that? Are there more like you? And I'm like, yeah, they are. In different languages, different flavors even. There's this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy. Sometimes I even mention guys I know deep down I'm not cool with. You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
if I was the type of dude to snap everything I do, dog, and like all these conversations that I have with people, if I was the type to say, yo, I just stepped out of a meeting with this guy and I told him about this guy and he told me he was gonna try and put everyone in this playlist and whatever. And some of these playlists that I do for like Spotify and shit, these guys are like, yo, we're gonna give you a playlist that's gonna have like a banner and whatever. When people log on to Spotify for this week only, your shit's gonna be like at the top there. Like, who do you want to put on there? I'm not selfish, dog. I don't go put me, just put Teller, man, just put this guy. No, I'm actually, you know what I mean? Like, I'm putting everybody on, but you don't see me going on Twitter say, yeah, first of all, I just put this guy, and that guy there. You guys should be thanking me. Like, I'll never be that guy.
And playlists of the new radio station for those who don't know.
Right now, that's our highest currency as artists right now, because there's no going out the house. We've always looked at royalties and all that type of stuff as like, nah, you can keep that. Me, I want to go make the show money.
Yeah.
That's not it right now. Our highest currency right now is the streams and you know what I mean?
Look, I want to share something with you, and I appreciate the fact that like you having these conversations, but I've been in a space where I've been taken to the States by an artist, and I've been in a booth with like these artists, and it's guys that I looked up to, and I was young, you know what I mean? And I'm from a crew of cats, right? And I know that like I'm always the guy that's like putting things together, so I lean on the crews. Y'all rap well, I just put things together. And I was in that space, and for me, I just couldn't find it in me to have the confidence to sit in that booth. I was invited, yo, come in the intro. A brother from Africa, you know, come in the intro, you know. I never had the confidence. I can talk about it now because it is what it is. It's part of my life, you know what I mean? But the appreciation of what you are doing, for me, goes deep because it's more than music. Because I was in a position where literally we were gonna go in this 2009, no internet, okay, they got 1 million streams. It's like another rapper who saw us in South Africa, like kill a crowd, and we built a relationship. And then he went to Def Jam, funny enough, and he said, we gotta literally start an African branch and we gotta like, you know what I mean? And it's word of mouth, right? But I never represented properly for the rest of us.
You did your part.
Did my part, you know what I mean? But what's important is that I appreciate what you've done even further because of the confidence that it takes. And you're one of the artists, there's a lot of artists that I feel that have got a lot of confidence that like in our time it was unheard of. You know what I mean? It was crazy. We were the first of its kind also.
And it's supposed to be that crazy, like when you think about it. Because it actually is, dog. Like when you go that side, people don't understand. You're going that side to be a newcomer all over again.
Yeah.
It's like you're leaving this throne to go and try and catch that crown right there. But in between that, you're crownless. You're a nobody. You land there, people are like, oh, who are you? Oh, where do you come from? Oh, let's hear your song. Oh, that's cute. And then they go back to whatever they're used to. Do you know what I mean? And you have to knock again. You have to be like, yo, I'm here again. I got some different. This is better than the other one. I'm telling you, like, listen to this. And it's like you're going through this come up all over again. And this time it's heavier because you know what it's like to be praised. You know what it's like to come from a place where it's like you don't have to introduce yourself. You walk in the room and everybody's like, oh, you know what I mean? And then you walk in there and you walk in and everybody's like, who is this guy? Are we letting visitors in now? What's happening? You know what I mean? Like, and you have to be a newcomer all over again. But also knowing that you're not just doing that for yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it should be scary. I mean, it isn't scary, but because, I don't know, maybe it's just not scary for me, but it isn't scary. But it's like, it's something, bro.
Look, I mean,
bro, it's something though.
And it's a confidence where I'll tell you before I even went there, I'd already met Damon Dash, right? And he was out pushing the Rockefeller New Artists and the PR company there. Now it's a PR company, a white PR company. I'm super young. And they're like, yo, you gotta meet these. And they got me there in the front, you know, and Dame Dash me on some, all right, cool. And then like, you know, Dame Dash, I don't know whether he saw me or not. This one goes, oh, so do you also want me to give you? He's like, no, not that. You know what I mean?
You just had to swallow that, though. You just had to be like, bro. Now, I'm telling you, bro.
And now I'm in a booth in a room where this is a collaboration album. Look, they all like, they there, you know, everyone is feeling themselves. They're competing with each other. Yeah. Now you want to throw this African in.
Dog. And them naturally, their confidence is always like on 1,000.
Yeah.
At any given moment, you ask them, yo, is this you? Yeah, hell yeah, that's me. Listen to my other shit.
Yeah.
So they come in with that energy. You come in with this humble South African shit. It's like, I know, yeah, that is me. If you could just listen to this one also. We come in with that energy. So it's like, dog, it's like,
with the dude.
Bro, I'm telling you, dog, it's something else. It's a whole different beast on its own, dog.
But how do you then push forward with that, you know, where even going as far as, okay, now we're taking pictures. How do you push forward knowing that those are some of the barriers? Because I think that's what people miss the fact that like, it's not a song. It's not like you're meeting with your homie. You're meeting with a total stranger who's also hungry, if not hungry, in his space. And if you think it's rife here with you and the next artist, imagine there, you know.
I don't even know, dog. I don't even. It's just like one of those things. It's like, just jump. It's like, just jump. Stop thinking about it too much. Just jump. If you fall, you fall. It's fine. Get back up and try it again. You know, that's just been my whole thing the whole time. I've seen what it's like to just like fail and then fail again and then fail again.
Oh, we're going to get to that. I mean? Hold on. We're going to get to that.
I know what that's like. And then when you finally win, it just makes it all worth it. And you feel even stronger than a person that got it right the first time.
So in Lavish, you talk about haters, and I just want to find out how has your evolution also created a misconception about you?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I think people just go around saying stuff about me. People buy it. What doesn't help is like print media. No offense to print media, but it doesn't help because a lot of the stuff that goes out locally, like into where we grow up, these people, first of all, they don't contact us to get our side of the story or to get our 2 cents or whatever. Even just a young quote, even 2 lines or whatever. Even just a no comment. They don't even get to that point. So what they do is they create stories and then they put them out. And La Paana, you know what it's like? Oh, he's trending on Twitter. Oh, let's go see what he tweeted. It's not like that. It's like when they go into Erenke to catch a taxi, they seeing this, and they still do it like this. Like it's like a pole with like a banner and this big ass heading. Report to see Wednesday log, and it's just it's gonna be like the worst. Because people, it has to draw people's attention. And then that's what people end up going with. And because La Paana, it's not like, oh, this guy usually goes live. Let's share his side of the story on Instagram. No, they're just going to take whatever they saw La Paana and let's just story and you know it always changes through people. Like this person will hear it and then they'll tell their mother and their mother will tell their son and then their son will go to school and tell the rest of the crew and this and that. And then it'll just go like that. And then people just end up saying, no. That's just how it happens. And then people just run with that, you know? I mean, I know, I would rather have people think whatever they want to think about me and think, this and that and da-da-da, because then they're giving me a chance to make as many mistakes as I have to make to level up. Because everyone you're already looking at me as a failure. Like, what else can you do, dog? You're already looking at me as somebody who's not good enough. That's rubbish. I'm waiting for this guy to put out the album. That's fine, dog. You're giving me a chance to go crazy, and fail as many times as I have to and get it wrong as many times as I have to. And then I'll come out later and then all will be fixed. I don't really mind, dog. You just have to let people do their thing, dog. Like, it'll drive you crazy. Trying to fix what people think about you, it'll drive you crazy.
I want to remove it from the context of how you were writing it, but for me, I was like, yo, how many times did you fall to chart in 30 countries?
So many times.
And I'm not even talking about Times Square, because for me, that's media buying, you know. I'm a marketer, that's media buying. You can't buy streams, you know what I mean? You can't buy interest. And I'm also not like blinded by I tell people go, yeah, this system is a machine. I go, I need to remember, I used to make music and there was a machine that supported Umoya. But if the song was whack,
it wouldn't have done.
Because the FM was gonna go.
Yeah, they would have played it for that first week just to make the people happy, and then it would have been.
Yeah, just to see Dalile finished. You know, I mean, how many times and can you also just like point out the places that you had to fall? And when I say fall, I'm not just going fall, but fall forward. Like I had to travel here, I had to travel, you know, for your album to be charting in 30 countries. And I'm gonna name some of those countries for those that don't know.
When it comes to stuff like, let's say for instance, ticket sales or merch sales or whatever, like pushing actual units where it's like you can never manipulate it. Those things, that's when I found like a lot of challenges outside of the music stuff. Like when it came to like making a business out of it, that's where I found like a lot of hiccups. But we powered through them. Like a lot of the stuff that people saw on social media, I'm like, oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Congratulations. That was probably like the 3rd time we had tried it. You know what I mean? Like we tried a lot of stuff. Even when it came to like brands to support us do a tour. They were like, you're crazy. You're not going to do a tour in South Africa. How are you going to do a tour in South Africa, though? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And we won't sponsor you to go to a club. It doesn't make any sense. We was like, no, it's going to work. We're going to do it during these times at this place. It's going to be safe. There's going to be kids there. So that's your target market. Your brand fits this thing. They were just like, nah, that's not going to happen. A lot of those doors got shut, like right in front of our eyes. And it was like, Now you have to go back and rethink the whole thing. You have to think if it's worth taking money out of your own pocket for, you know what I mean? And sometimes when you're taking money out of your own pockets and you try to explain it to homies, it's like, yo, we're still building from now. Like I need you to help me like in these beginning stages. Like we're gonna be good eventually, but like just like ride with me for these beginning, like these first few shows or whatever. And some dudes don't want to hear that. Some dudes want their actual fee or whatever. Do you know what I mean? All that type of stuff, dog. It's just a lot of stuff that we have to go through. And then when you do that type of stuff, people that are in the same field as you, because they haven't tried it or they don't want to try it or they just want to stick to doing like clubs or whatever, they don't even want to hear your struggles. It's like, yo, Fitz, I can try and do this, but please understand, I have to take care of this and this and this and this and that on top of that. Like meet me halfway type thing. They just like, nah, dog, nah. My brand is not going to look right if I do this. It's just like, okay, cool, I can shop. And then when it finally works well and it's working, it's like, yo, are you still on? Are we still on for this? It's like, nah, dog, we're not on. Like, you know what I mean? Like that type of stuff happens with that. And then also with the streams and all these numbers, the digital shit. People see me traveling and I don't know what comes to their mind. I think they think I'm going on vacation or they think the trips are paid for. I don't know who they think pays for these trips. I pay for the trips. I pay to get my whole team on the plane to go left. We'll go someplace you've never even been to, places you don't even know exist. Like we'll go there, dog, and we'll do the groundwork. We'll do the radio stations where it's like sometimes it's not even a room as big as this. It's like Econ and Gaga fits, and we'll sit there and we'll power through it, dog. We'll sit there for an hour if we have to. Have those meetings, those interviews, link with those artists, go to those schools, whatever. Like do the actual groundwork. Like, you know what I mean? Like we do that a lot, dog. And when we come back seeing 200,000 gone, like, and you can only expect the return to come when you drop an album, which is in like a year or 2 years. Like you can only hope that country still remembers you, that you came like a couple months ago. And it doesn't even work like that. Also, you have to come back. Like all these places that you go to, you have to come back. You can never just go to Tokyo once. No, you have to go back there and again and again. And nobody's gonna pay for that. You have to pay for that. That has to come out of your own pockets as an artist. Do you know what I mean? And people don't see that side of things, so they just think, you have it made or it's easy for you.
I mean, and I just want to say this. This is the week that you dropped. This is, so I'm always on the charts, you know, I'm always just checking what's happening and you really stick on the charts, you know. Besides, there's really 2 or 3 artists that have been sticking on the charts, and you one of the artists that sticks on the charts in urban hip hop, youth kind of music, right? The week that the album dropped, you know, I checked on the Friday. So I was like, oh, maybe it's too soon, you know? You know? And then I checked on Saturday, and it's like, okay, maybe then I checked on Sunday, right? Yeah. On Sunday, you were charting in Zimbabwe, you know? You're charting in Swaziland. Obviously, you're charting in South Africa. You're charting in Kenya. You're charting in Gabon, because someone was like, oh, pick up on food, you know what I mean? You're charting in
my point, right?
Yeah. You're charting in Ghana and number 8, not like, you know, in the top 10, you know, you were charting in Gambia, you were charting in Botswana, you were charting in Uganda. And those are the countries Nigeria also, right? And I was telling these guys, and I was saying, you see, Cardi B and Drake, you know, WAP and Drake's new joint, you know, they number 1 and 2, like everywhere. There's a machine behind that. Yeah. I said, yo, I don't care what you guys say. You can't machine Nigeria. Nigeria literally got Cardi B and Drake on 52 and 53, and number 1 to 50 is Nigerian and the rest of Africa. Yeah. And you are like there within that space. You know what I mean? And for me, that was that literally was saying, yes, there was that amazing Times Square post. But if you know the history of hip hop, that hasn't happened, you know, before, where an artist literally is like charting in all these African countries. I literally really wanted to say, you know, how many fall forwards are you still ready for to really take this to the world?
All of them. There's gonna be loads. There's gonna be backlashes. There's gonna be beefs. There's gonna be speculations. There's gonna be accusations. All that type of stuff, though. I'm ready for it, though. I'm ready for it. I understand it comes with it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm going upwards. That's not an easy thing to do in any case. Whether you're climbing, jumping, that's it. Going upwards is hard. So I'm expecting everything else that comes with it. If I fall 1,000 times, I'll do it. And if I have to do that publicly, I'll do it publicly. it, dog. But at the end, like I'm gonna get mine at the end, dog. Trust me.
I mean, I heard the story of All In You, you know, how you literally had the beat when T.I. reached out to you and you sent it through to him. When you got that message, it's almost like you kind of executive produced the song. You kind of already knew what you wanted to say. And when I heard it also, I was like, yo, I can hear that you can have whatever you like keys, like there, like, you know, lurking there, you know. When you literally wrote that, how did you, was that one of your moments of, I want to tell my story, and if he takes it, he takes it. If he doesn't, he doesn't.
I think it's always like that with me, especially with like these international artists, because I understand that a huge opportunity comes with that. Like if you guys really knock it out the park, something big like that could change my life. Do you know what I mean? So, and I don't want it to be something that I have to go back and beat my brain trying to replicate. I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be natural, so that the next time I have to do it, it'll be natural again. And that person will be able to say that song is a dope song, and especially since that guy told his truth on there and this and that and da 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 da. You know what I mean? And even like after we did the song and he did that interview, he said exactly what I was hoping he would say, or what I was hoping he would walk out of that moment like having in his mind. That guy was not afraid to be himself. He didn't try and send me some ATL type. He didn't try to send me some trap. He didn't try to send me anything that sounds like what I've made. He didn't try and sound super hard. He didn't try and rap too much. He didn't try to sound gangster. I didn't do none of that, dog. I really just went there and I was like, yo, this song means the world to me. This song is helping me get through some stuff. You know what I mean? If I can get my idol on this, it's a rap. Like it doesn't really matter what it does. Like what it's done for me already, that's it. And he understood that. And that was like, for me, that was like, that's how you do it.
Was the song recorded already, or did you just have the beat?
I had it recorded already.
Oh, wow.
I had the song recorded already.
Yeah. Yo, that's king. That's like being firm.
Yeah, dog.
That's being firm. That's like, you know, that's king. You know what I mean?
It's worth the gamble. People are scared to fail. They're scared to lose. They're scared to be slower than the next guy and be late or whatever. But they don't understand that it's worth it. It's worth it, though.
In the end, I feel that like almost like the nasty mantras that whether you like me or not, the one thing you will get is me at the end. That's incredible.
That's it. 1,000%. You know, now that we're talking about this, I was starting to think about even like a couple of connects that I made, but like there was no follow-up, I guess. Or we didn't really see it through. And on my side, I was ready. But like on the other side, I guess like it didn't work. And if those things happened publicly, people would look at it a different way. People wouldn't take no type of lesson from it or whatever. But there's been a lot of cases where it's like, I'm like, oh, like, I cannot believe this guy reached out. Okay, cool. Let me send you this. This is what I really want to do. And they were like, okay, cool. I'll get back to you. And they never do. You know what I mean? That's also one of those moments where it's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to cry over that? And are you going to scramble now and be desperate and whatever? Or are you just going to take that maybe that wasn't supposed to happen? As big of an opportunity as it may have seemed, maybe just it wasn't supposed to happen. I had a couple of those, dog. I had a couple of those where I was like, yo, like if this works, I'm out of here, dog. I'm gone, dog.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like I was like, I'm gone. And this is before Strings and Bling even, though. Yeah, this is before Strings and Bling. You know what I mean? Like a lot of those opportunities started to come and a lot of them didn't work out just because they didn't, I'm gonna say it and just like be frank, they didn't believe in the vision. They didn't believe in maybe they just didn't fuck with my music. Maybe they didn't like, maybe they did a background check and didn't like what they saw. But whatever it is, I'm 100% cool with it. I wouldn't have it any other way, like at all.
Sure. On a personal note, I've always felt that you're wise. All the time I spoke to you, you know, I was always impressed by the things you say before you even got to this point, but it's good to see it in action. I want you to tell me about Lose Some, Win Some. Tell me the experience of that song. I mean, it talks a lot about the lessons that you've learned, and I think some of the lessons that you talk about in that song are exclusive to a person who's going through a journey like yours. 10 people can't say, I know that feeling. I know what you're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very exclusive to kind of like the journey that you have taken.
That one there is just about the hardships that come with being a breadwinner. People changing right in front of your eyes. Not necessarily changing even. People just like unveiling themselves right in front of your eyes, I guess. You know what I mean? Like a lot of those moments happened to me. It was like, you know when it's like, there's just that thing about somebody, but because there's no proof or no nothing, incident, whatever, to go off of and say you're a bad person, like you never say that. You're just like, I mean, I got something to lose of it, and that's fine. And then you rock with them or whatever. And then when it starts to face you, then you're like, I should have known. It's like you did know, but
you felt it.
Yeah, you were just, either you were just a good person or you just didn't want drama, or you were just, I don't know, you were just kind of hoping that if you don't think about it, it'll go away and that person will be good and like they'll be the right person to keep beside you for the journey or whatever. But a lot of those moments happen to me, and it's like one of the hardest things ever, like to cut people off, like people that really meant something to you. I had to do that a lot. And it's like all of the times, actually, not even most of the times, all the times I was like, it didn't have to get like this. Like, it didn't have to get to this point. Like, this could have worked out a whole different way. Like, we could all be winning right now. You know what I mean? And it's like people that you love and people that you actually care about. That's why even where I ended the verse, I was like, we done cut some niggas off. We had to be real for them, but they know we still here for them. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's one of those, it's like a burden almost, man. It's like a burden. It's like these people, you know, they're good people at heart, but it's like, I would say, are they desperate for something? Is it pressure? Do they just not respect you as a person? Do they just see you as like a stepping stone or whatever? Do you know what I mean? It's like, you get conflicted, but you end up not knowing what to do. Dog, I believe people can be good people and they could change, you know what I mean? Certain situations or pressures can, I don't know, turn somebody bad for that moment or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I still have people that I speak to like every now and then. And I'm just like, yo, I'm here, dog. Like, I'm still your homie. You haven't lost me as a friend. You know what I mean? But I don't want you anywhere near me. Yeah. I can help you from a distance. Hell yeah. I want to see you win. Yeah. But like, don't come near me.
It's like they got their own things they still need to deal with. Essentially.
Yeah, and you know, you guys can never mend that until they sort that out about themselves. You know what I mean? And I'm nobody to just be jumping in people's businesses and trying to fix their lives and all that. I give my advice and I step out of the way.
Sad Boys, what sacrifices for you to get to this point in your career? What sacrifices of people, relationships, or time, or even things that you've had to make a decision to make those kind of calls?
Similar to what I was just talking about now, like a lot of friends. Most of it is friends. And then on my side, just because, I don't know if this is just a normal thing, just like in South Africa, if it's like school to internet, like there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of like, you don't know who's who in the zoo and who you should be following and listening to. All of a sudden, like out of nowhere, people will come up and say, I used to know you Olit Lako and the Olit Lako, Liganje, listen and Milim Figeli Le Pupe and tell Lenze Log Nalo. And it's just like, yo, how can you use something like that against me, dog? Like, how can you, like, that's like, you gotta be an evil, twisted person to try and use somebody that I consider my guardian angel to try and gain favor or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, that happens a lot. And when that happens from like people you consider to be family, it's just like, yo, like, who can I trust at this point? Like, I got to a point where I was like, I had to go back to my father and I was like, yo, at this point, you're the only person on this earth that I trust and love 100%. You have your flaws and you have your mistakes or whatever. It's fine. I can accept that. It's whatever. But I think that as your son, I think you love me enough to keep it 100 with me. So-and-so and so-and-so are telling me this and this and this and that. They're pulling me in this direction and that direction and that direction. And they're using the one thing they know they can use to get to me. What do I do? As my father, tell me, what should I do? Should I listen to that? Or just like, tell me now. Just, even if you say one word, me, I'm gonna listen to that and that's just what I'm gonna go with. If it comes with repercussions or whatever, fine, I'll take it. And then he told me what he had to tell me and I was just like, all right, cool. At least now I can put a cap on this and just like, you know what I mean? And it's hard, Doug. It's hard, bro. It's hard. Especially when you're the breadwinner, because you go from being a kid that people love and they just want to shelter you and give you only like good news and this and that. And when you're the breadwinner, people are just like, hey, not to singala, sasiko, nagunje, ganje, you know what I mean? And then, it's a lot, bro. That shit is a lot, bro. It's
yeah, and obviously, I mean, your pops, how does he feel about like your journey though, you know, and where you are right now?
I try and keep him in the dark about stuff like that, like my success and stuff like that. I try not to I don't know. I guess it's just the way I was raised. Me and him never had that type of, where it's like, oh, I just did this and he'll say congratulations. We've never really been like that. If he chooses to say congratulations, he'll say it and I'll accept it, but we've never really been like that. I've never had anybody like that in my life. I'm not that type of person.
Yeah, it's like, it's that pops that doesn't say he loves you, but you know it.
You know it, yeah. Yeah, you know it. He'll say it in another way. He'll say it in another way. It was like tough love with my father, bro. It was none of the heart to heart. I've never had a heart to heart with that, man. Like, I don't even know what my father likes, bro. I don't even know if he has a favorite color, favorite food, place to, like, we're not there. Like,
yeah, you don't even want to play your pops song. You don't want him to be there.
I've never played him. I've never said, listen to this. I've never. The closest I've gone to that is I told him that I made a song about him on the album and it's something that I hold very close to my heart and I couldn't wait for him to hear it.
Which is on this album.
That's the closest we got like to that.
And when you're ducking school, so he doesn't know that you're ducking school.
He knows now. I mean, he knows now.
That's incredible. That's incredible. How many videos are you going to be dropping? Yo, man, you are not letting anybody breathe with your videos, right?
I think I'm just going to drop video after video after video. I want to drop a video for every song on the album. Every song feels like a capsule of a moment of some sort, or like a feeling or an energy. So it'll be nice to have a visual representation of that for every song.
Well, I mean, look, man, I sent a message to your bro also. And, I've listened to millions of rap albums, I think out of all your projects, this is the most cohesive from a sound. As you press play and you listen through it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Musically also, your choice of like mixing the sounds. I did like the fact that you were able to, even though you say you're going that way, you showed us that like actually you know how to do this rap thing, and you know what the beats that are a part of this rap thing. You know what I mean? You mixed it nicely. It was a great listen. And I think that like in my view, and it's something that I've posted and I'm gonna say it again and I'll defend it. In my view, you need to celebrate what's happening in Africa with your music. You need to celebrate being on those charts, You need to celebrate these millions and millions of streams. When I asked earlier on what was the vacuum you filled, you were never going to know what the vacuum you were going to feel when you were starting, because 4 or 5 years ago, streaming wasn't really like a commodity in South Africa, So I think that like in the commodities of the music value, you literally are the king of music value from streaming, and I think that what I really wanted to get from this conversation, I really wanted to kind of get into the work and get into the challenges and get into everything that everyone sees and thinks it's easy, and thinks that a comment on Twitter or a comment with no thought literally is worthy of just being there without them knowing the work, and the thinking behind it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, man, congratulations, Zulu Man with some power. Like I said, the most cohesive album, true to the word of everything that you've gone through, that will tear any 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old, rip them apart and make them depressed, for real.
Yeah.
For real.
Drive you to the brink of suicide, though.
You know what I mean?
It is.
But only kings can go through that and really like, and take it. And like I said, you've been falling back, but you're in a fall forward space now. So as long as you keep humbling yourself to falling forward, and I ain't trying to school you like that, OG.
Nah. Trust me now.
As long as you keep on falling forward, man, you're going to move us forward. And also, never mind about the negativity. It's just people are not used to it. People are not familiar with this type of, I always go, the saddest thing about apartheid is that apartheid is one of the few things that like the legacy of it is so great, meaning racism in South Africa. It's so great. The white man has always made us not see the power of ourselves. The white man has always made us feel less, right? And he's done that so well that like, even if a white man saw you move forward, he's always going to find, but you're not good enough. So they've been cutting us down forever. And he's done it so well that it's literally like spilled over to black men and women. That like when we see ourselves, we like, you're good, but there's something you did to cheat. Yeah. You got a nice car. Oh, you got a nice car, but I'm sure you're stealing money from the tenders. That's how a white man sees black success and black excellence or black progress, and it spills over to the music that like you must have cheated to get to where you are. Someone must be paying you to get where you are. They must be, so black people also haven't detached themselves from the white mentality that just doesn't go, yo, Nasty really did that, And before I gave you props, I literally wanted to look at the charts. And I know you came by that, yo.
Appreciate you, man.
Keep doing, fall forward.
Thank you.
Fall forward.
To falling forward.
Zulu Man with power.
Yes, sir.
Going to the world now. Let's go.
I hope you enjoyed that episode of Zulu Man with Some Power podcast series brought to you by M Studios by Old Mutual. If you want to find out more information about the facilities and resources that they offer or revisit some of their masterclasses, the time is now to visit mstudios.co.za.
Music has changed. How it makes us feel never will. The time is now to visit mstudios.co.za.